Hello everyone, my name is David Lackey and my goal is to inform consumers about genetically modified organisms. I chose this topic because food is essential for life and as consumers we should be aware of the food that we choose to purchase. Many people are unaware that a majority of the food that they purchase and consume is genetically modified. Today we will discuss what GMOs are, how they are created, and the effects of GMO use. I retrieved my information from the Non-GMO Project website, which is a reliable source for facts on GMOs, as well as a YouTube video titled GMO Ticking Time Bomb by Gary Knoll. GMO stands for Genetically Modified Organism. GMOs are living organisms that have been genetically engineered with DNA from bacteria, viruses, or other plants and animals. Back in the day, before technology was so advanced, farmers would take seeds from only the best plants and replant them into a different crop. This here is called selective breeding. Farmers selectively breed crops and animals to improve necessary traits for maximum production. Farmers wanted plants that showed traits for fast growth, quick maturity, and resistance to pests. Some farmers still use this technique today. Later on, technology progressed and farmers considered genetic engineering. Many farmers were benefited from biotechnology because they didn't have to spend a ton of money on fertilizers, although this unnatural gene altering might cause damage to our bodies. Monsanto was one of the first agricultural companies to genetically modify a plant cell in 1983, and in 1987 was one of the first to produce field crops with these genetically modified organisms. Genetic engineering is a process of cutting and splicing the DNA of an organism and introducing them into another organism. The goal is to produce an organism identical to the non-genetically modified original, plus a new gene introduced by the genetic engineer. GMOs are created by finding a gene they want to transfer. Example, fast-growing gene or a pest-resistant gene, and then finding a target species, for example, which would be corn. The fast-growing gene must be cut out and isolated from the original organism that it was once in. After that, the fast-growing gene is then inserted to a host cell inside the corn. The gene replicates inside the host cell, putting the fast-growing trait into the corn's DNA. The process of genetic engineering creates unpredicted side effects because genes do not function as isolated units but interact with each other and their environment in complex ways which are not predictable. Corporations engineer food in ways that make it most profitable, but from their perspective, the negative aspects are irrelevant. Meanwhile, a growing body of evidence connects GMOs with health problems and environmental damage. The FDA claims GMOs to be GRAS, which stands for Generally Regarded as Safe. The FDA accepts genetically modified organisms to be consumed because it doesn't have any instant effects, although because it is new to science, we cannot determine the long-term effects. Statistically, genetically modified organisms has caused a rise in percent for chronic illnesses, food allergies, as well as digestive problems among citizens in the United States. Studies show that GMOs are as much as 80% of processed foods that are on the shelves at your local Walmart or Winn-Dixie. There are a variety of websites that provide information on genetically modified food and give the information about new research involving GMOs and the effects. The Non-GMO website itself provides a list of products that do not contain genetically modified food. At the beginning of this year, companies were actually forced to start labeling their food if genetically modified or not. This gives consumers the informed choice that they deserve. It is important to be informed about GMOs. They are becoming more and more prevalent, and consumers knowing what GMO is, how it works, and understanding the basics behind this biotechnology is essential. As consumers, we should know what we put inside of our body. We're done.